Okay, guys, we are back on The Sims 4, only for 45 minutes, and then I'm going to bed. I gotta be up by 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. So, anyways, we are officially live. Yay! Okay. I have to be actually really quiet because I have someone beside me asleep. She has school tomorrow. Anyways, guys, I hope everyone is doing really good. We're in The Sims 4 right now. We are building a little mini camper, and this looks really messed up and screwy, but you'll see what I do next. But we're doing like a little cottagey kind of like vibe with a little cottagey kind of camper, and I would have been live sooner, but I went and spent some time with my sister. My sister and I we've been having a lot of family problems. We also found out that we lost our grandmother very recently. So rest in peace, Grandma. Wherever you are in this entire planet, fly high, and we miss you and we love you. And this video is meant for you. And I wish you were still here with us. And I wish I could have met you because I would have loved to met you. You are an amazing lady, and you inspire me in so many ways, and I love you to bits. All right, anyways, we are just building a camper right now. We are making this look really amazing. It looks a little screwy, and I'm not thinking I want to keep this, but I need to because I need this top part because I need this top part. One reason and one reason only. There's no more room in the camper for another bedroom, and there's probably not going to be enough for bunk beds. So yeah, so I'm gonna figure this out and see if I actually like this. Actually, that's kind of cute. This could be like Will Smith's kind of thing, like there's hydraulics and stuff. If you guys haven't seen, Will Smith has this amazing, expensive like motorhome, and it's really nice. It is pretty. It is really nice. If you guys not seen it, I would definitely see this. Like, it is amazing, and it is to die for. Anyways, I've been really busy lately. I've been really depressed, and it's not normal for me to just say I need help, I need assistance, and I need time for me. And lately it's been really bad. It's been so bad that I can't even put the nail on the head about it, because it's like I've been having a lot of mental issues lately, and I can't really say it's an issue, but I'm saying it's now starting to become an issue. And I'm scared, because I'm scared that it's going to affect mine and Fred's relationship. So I've been trying not to come live here. I've been trying to spend as much time as possible, because if I don't spend as much time as possible, something's gonna happen, right? So but anyways, Freddie and I are an inseparable family. We love each other to bits. It's something that Fred and I we've always have overcome, and it's how I can really say it right now. It's something that I love Fred. I love him with all my heart. I actually, last night, I literally went into a full breakdown, a full meltdown, and I didn't sleep. I think I finally fell asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then all of a sudden, I felt like I was being nudged awake, and I was being told that, okay, you need to get up, you need to wake up, you need to wake up. And all of a sudden I woke up, and I felt like, okay, I'm awake. Now why am I awake? And I'm thinking, is this God telling me that I need to be up so I can spend time with Freddie. And I'm always happy for one little reason, because when the Lord actually tells me to do something, it's a sign from God, right? So it's something that, okay, if I have to be up, I'm going to be up. If I'm going to sleep in, I'm going to sleep in. And whose fault is that? That's going to be my fault, because I wasn't there for Freddie. So if you guys don't know this, I've been dating Freddie for now 6 months, and it's been a really amazing 6 months. We've had a lot of challenges, a lot more than anyone should in any relationship. But I have to say that it has been the best. Like, I have never been so happy in my life ever since I got with Freddie. And that actually says something. That says that, hey, you got this. You can do anything what the Lord tells you to do. And if the Lord tells you that today you can't do that today, or today you need to do this instead of that, or maybe anything. So that's the problem with any relationship. You got to work with it. You can't just say, okay, this morning I'm just going to sleep in and I'm going to put Freddie last. No, I'm sorry to say this. You don't put anyone last. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. In any working relationship, you don't put that other person last. I was raised in a very religious home. When I was very, very little, my birth mother left my birth father. And I remembered how much of a struggle it was for my birth mother not to have him around. And that's when she turned into the person that I wish I never knew. My mom she just did things that she should not have done. And she had the law put onto it. And now she has, she has to basically live with her own regret and guiltiness. She's still my mom, no matter what. Like, I may be really, really mad at her, and I may be really, really ticked at her, but she's still my birth mother, right? So, I've been trying to come to the terms is, when should I call her? When should I call her to apologize? So that's something that I'm gonna work on, and I'm gonna work on that by myself. I'm not gonna ask Freddie for assistance. I'm gonna do that myself. And the only reason why I'm gonna do that myself is so there's no arguments, because that's a thing in this relationship, is I don't want an argument to start. I've had enough with fighting. I want this week to go perfect. I want to be able to be like, yeah, you know what, honey? This week we were able to get through this week. This week we were able to do us. This week we were able to figure us out and not having to figure out anyone else. This week we were able to do things, and I am proud of what we did. So, that's what's going on this week. This week it's going to be a very challenging week. And I have to work with myself, not with anyone else. I got to work with myself to make it in this world. When my father was alive, he used to always say this weird little saying, you got to make it to keep them. So my grandparents, they were married for about, I think, 30 some years. They were married for a long time. And it is because even if they fought, and I'm just saying, they did fight. They fought more than Fred and I fight. they still loved each other. I remember when they had an argument, and I was little. I was very little. I lived with my grandparents, by the way. And I remember Dad saying, whatever you do, you don't get married. And it's really weird, is because I remember him saying that to me. Whatever you do not get married. You'll regret it. Don't get married. But this is the thing with all of that, is I did get married. And I'm not proud of it. And the reason why I'm not proud of it is because I've done things that I should not have done. So I may have been a really, really bad person. I may have followed my non-instincts, and I may have done things that I should have never done. But when my father was passing away, he basically said to me, he says, honey, you need to find that one person that makes you smile. I have never seen you smile since you were little. And I says, I know, Dad. And he says, I may be a long, far away from here, but I will always be beside you no matter what you decide. And when my father did pass that day, he told me, he says, you will have your Prince Charming. You will find your Prince Charming. So I'm thinking to myself, what is he talking about? Like, he was delusional, guys. He was a very sick old man that was going to die. And he, and will always will be, my dad. Dad was a very proud and hard worker. And I loved my dad. And I still do to this day. Because he's my dad. You know, Dad was always really proud of what he did. And okay, so this is what this camper is going to be like. This is going to basically, it's a camper, but they built this thing on top of this camper, and they just build onto it like a house. So this camper no longer is usable. But anyways, let's go back to my story. I don't know. I'm still having a hard thing of really thinking in my head about should I follow Dad's advice? And when Dad did die, I took my grandmother's side and I said, Mom, eventually I'm going to find that one true someone. Is he telling me the truth? Or was he just being delusional? My grandmother says, Dad was always a wise old man. And I says, yeah, well, Dad's always been a wise old man because he's a very, very wise man. And she says, now you got me confused. And I says, yes, I know. And so I always ask when I get really badly confused is, what's going on? I don't understand. I have a lot of learning disabilities, a lot more than the human eye could ever combine. And it sucks. Like, you could be like talking to me about, okay, yeah, tonight I have to be here tonight. Because, excuse me, I'm not going to understand what you're talking about. I understand if you have to go there someplace, but what do you mean? Is everything okay? And then what I have to teach myself, and this is something that I've always been a worrywart, and it may not be something really serious. It may be something very freaking stupid. I remember, and I haven't done this in a long time, but I remember having to call the city police and say, hey, Tim didn't check in on me. Can you guys go find him for me? Well, I was pregnant with Danny, so they were neglected, and they said, yes, sure, we'll go do that. But then ever since when Tim and I started having problems and I left him because of some marriage issues that we were having, then that was different. I was finally happy in my life. I was finally able to wake up one morning and think, today is the day. Today is the day that I'm going to shine. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be the next day, but today is the day. Today is the day that I'm going to be me. Today is the day that I'm not going to let anybody worry. Today is the day that I'm going to try not to be completely, utterly out of this world, clingy to Freddie. When I say that to myself, it's really hard for me to say that because I'm a very clingy person. I've always have been. And I think it's because when I was very, very little, I was left alone a lot of the time. And that's the time when I used to always having to be like, having that feeling that if I'm not with someone at that point in time, am I going to lose them? Or is something going to happen? Because remember, I lost my grandfather to cancer. So when this clinginess started very, very early in my life, this clinginess was something that pushed me over the edge. It pushed me over the edge. No one else. It pushed me over the edge to where I could probably basically lose the love of my life. So what I have been teaching myself, and no one else can teach me to do this. I have to do this myself. Me. I have to teach myself to do this. Is I need to teach myself, calm down. Everything's okay. You're okay. Fred's okay. Your sister's fine. You're okay. So that's the thing. I could tell myself all of those things and I could make myself believe that everything's okay. But then all of a sudden something really does happen. How am I going to feel in the end? I actually had something hid from me for about a month before one day that I got a weird phone call from my adopted big brother saying, sis, did mom tell you that I'm in the hospital? No. I have cancer and I don't think I have very long to live. Well, it's very late at night and I have no way of getting to the hospital. And he says, then this is the last thing I'm going to say to you. And he says, same thing my father said to me back in the year of 2006. You need to find your someone. And all of a sudden, the line was dead. And I call him back, and everybody's crying. And I'm asking, what the hell's going on? What's wrong with Rick? And Richard passed away holding on to my photo, one of my baby photos. Because all he wanted was me and no one else. And I wasn't there for Richard. So, talking about my adopted big brother right now, I just felt like somebody just touched my shoulder. That's the biggest picture. The biggest picture is family. We may not have the greatest connections with anyone. We may have really bad arguments, and we may hate that one person. But this is something my father used to say to me when I was younger. Hate is a strong word, and you can never hate that one person, because one day, you're going to miss that person that you actually truly hate. Well, I remembered when I would have been I was 15, when I literally told my father that I hated him and I wish he was dead. And a lot of kids do this. I'm not saying not a lot do. This one did. And now I was able to say I'm sorry before he died. But what if he died and I wasn't able to say that I'm sorry? How would I feel knowing that my father, the man that raised me, that carried me out of that dilapidated home, and I was raised in a very, very abusive home with my birth mother. But anyways, that's another story for another day, everyone. I never thought of the bigger picture until the day that I lost Dad. When I lost Dad, I lost a part of me. And before he died, I said, I'm sorry. I say that a lot, even to Freddie. I'm sorry. Because I'm scared that one day that I'm not going to be able to say that I'm sorry. I'm scared that I'm going to be waking up one morning and think, I can't say sorry to Freddie. Or I can't say sorry to my grandmother. So that's the thing, is I only have a couple of days left until I can actually call my grandmother and say, look, I'm sorry for everything that I've done in my life. You know, that's the thing, is I'm a lot like my grandfather. A lot more than people think. When I'm angry, and I do have an anger spout to myself very, very well. But when I get angry, I get very resentful, and I'm just so fed up. I don't want anything to do with anyone, and that's how I am. But that's not how I was raised. I was raised in a home that you say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am. And if you didn't listen and you didn't have those animals fed, it would be a different story. You know, my dad, when he was around, he was an amazing father. He may have been strict, and I mean, he was strict. He was scary strict. Like, he was so scary that you wouldn't even understand. But my father was an amazing, amazing man that I miss to this day. I can never call him on the phone anymore and say, Dad, can I come home? I can't do that anymore. I can't call him and say, yeah, Dad, you were right about Tim. Can I come home, please? Dad, I'm sorry. Can I come home, please? And now, the only way I could ever talk to my father is through the Holy Bible and the Spirit of God. That's the only way I can talk to my own dad now. I can't just pick up the phone and cry on the phone for an hour, because all I am is I feel alone, and I feel distant from everyone, and I feel like nobody wants me around. But someone quite recently told me that it's all in my head. And I agree with that. You know, there's no more excuses that I'm going to have to put for myself anymore. There's no more right or wrong answers. Now I have to start putting myself first. I have to put myself, Fred, and God and my children all togetherly first. Because if I do, this proves that I'm listening to God. Guys, if you don't know this, I was raised in an Anglican home. And my grandfather hid from my own grandmother that my father was Catholic. And the only person that knew that Dad was Catholic was me. And Dad told me, he says, I know you have a hard time keeping a secret, but you need to keep this a secret. Don't tell Mother that I'm Catholic. I never questioned my dad because my father was a very proud older man that if he didn't want Mom knowing that he was Catholic, there was a reason to that too. There would have been a reason, and everyone has a right to decide of who they want them to know. If they don't want them to know that, hey, I'm Catholic, by the way, and I'm scared that my spouse that I've been with for years is going to be really upset with me, that's a reason why Daddy kept it a secret from Mom. And I know it. I know it for this day that Daddy kept it Dad did keep it a secret because of Mom. So this is one thing that I'm going to come on here and I'm trying to talk to you guys about. This one thing is, think about this. You're with someone and you love them to bits and you want to be with them. But then all of a sudden you've been with them for 30 some years and they told you this secret that they've kept from you for 30 some years. Think how you would feel. Or what if your spouse told you in 50 years that your marriage was nothing? Well, that's how I was afraid that my grandmother would have responded. When I told my grandmother after Dad died, and I apologized to her, she didn't talk to me for a month. And when I got remarried to my ex-husband now, she was never there. She never went to the wedding. And I asked her, why did you not come to my wedding? And she clearly stated to me, because I'm mad at you. You kept a secret from me because of Dad. And she says, if Dad was angry at you because you wanted to keep a secret, you would have been better off keeping a secret than telling me later. And that really killed me inside, because I kept something from my grandmother for years. And I says, I'm sorry, Mom. I can't fathom the reason to anyone's miseries or suffering or stress. I figure out that, what if someone did that to me, and how would I respond? Would I be mad? Would I be livid? Would I be pissed? And that's something that I've literally have been thinking for a very long time now. I'm now back on my antidepressants. I went off of them, and this is the bad thing, and I should never have done it. I stopped taking them for one reason. Because I know when I go to the States, I won't be able to afford my pills. I feel like I have failed Freddie. And this is the reason why I feel like I failed him. And I really don't want to talk about this, but I think it's time for me to talk about it. I feel like I failed Freddie because, oh man, this is hard to talk about it. Because I didn't get the job with Walmart. I feel like I failed my kids because I couldn't just do one simple task the correct way. But these past couple of days, I have actually figured out that, why am I feeling this way? It doesn't mean any sense that I have to feel really bad inside because I couldn't get that one job that could actually make everything better. Because in the end, I have God. God is here to help me. And heck it or lump it, if God leaves my side and he doesn't want to be here and doesn't want to help me, then I'm okay with that one because I know God has been helping me since I was little. And I know God has been wanting the best for me since I was young. I may have done a lot of rotten things in my life, and I may have not been able to apologize. But I am apologizing to everyone in my life. I'm apologizing to my kids. I'm apologizing to my fiance, the love of my life. He's a great, amazing man. I'm apologizing to everyone that I ever hurt. I ever said something that I didn't mean to say. Because I'm saying this now so I can let my soul rest. It's time for me to find the meaning of God. I used to be very religious before my father died. And after Daddy died, I let God go. I let God go because I thought God took my father away from me. I let God go because I thought that one person took that one person away from me, and it was his fault. I have now figured out in my 33 years, well, just about 33, that it was not God's fault, it was God's plan. And we're all in God's plan. We may not show that we are happy. We may not prove anyone wrong but ourselves. But God is amazing. And we all have to figure out our little true meaning in our life. If we're going to be with a person for the rest of our lives, then fine, let's do it. If we're going to sway away from the bad things and make yourself really happy, then do it. But you got to remember one thing is the only person you're hurting is you're not just hurting your family, you're hurting everyone around you. I have a lot of problems with my mental, and I get very badly stressed out. But I have been trying to figure out why I have been so stressed out. And I've been trying to work and fix that. So I like to come on here and talk a little bit of how I feel and what's my day been like, because I used to do these little videos when I used to have really bad panic attacks, and I had worse attacks than I do to this day. I remember when my father first died, and it was really bad because when Daddy died, everything died with me. I swore, I cussed, I was mad, I was angry, and I was very upset with God because God took my dad away from me. So I never, ever, ever realized that I wasn't hurting myself. I was hurting everyone around me. I remember picking up the phone when I was about 17 and calling my grandmother and saying, "Mom, I had a revelation. You know, my father was the best role model I had in my life. And I wish Fred would have been able to meet him. Because Dad would have loved him. I know that for a fact. My father, my grandfather would have loved Fred. Fred may have his little quirks. I have mine. I may have a really rotten day. And I may snap at Freddy and then I apologize to him the next day. So anyways, this is all I'm going to say tonight, guys, is think before you do. You may want to say something that you're going to regret. Think before you do. Because that's what I should have done tonight. I should have just let it go. And I should just went out to bed. But anyways, guys, you all are amazing. I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to go to bed. It is about 12:14 in the morning, Arkansas time. And I've been trying to get this build done as much as I can tonight. And this little camper build that I did looks pretty cute. I have to say it's pretty cute. I've been building a lot more campers lately. It's really fun just to sit here and talk about how I'm feeling. And the bad thing is I'm also feeling this too, is that it's never about how I'm feeling anymore, it's about how Fred's feeling as well. So if I'm having a really rotten day, I always ask Freddy, are you okay? And he says yes. I'm finally truly happy in my life. And I can actually admit this, for once in my life, I'm finally happy. I found that true meaning, that true person that my father told me I would find years ago. Daddy told me that when he died, you're going to find that loved one. You're going to find that one that makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you so angry you say something you don't mean. Well, that's what happened to me tonight. And I feel rotten for it. But there's always another day. And forgiveness always comes back into the line. But I have to learn to step back. Step back. Take a breath. Relax. And everything will be okay. We're just adding on the extra little trimmings. This looks like a Lux trailer. That's what this thing actually looks like. It's huge. I actually really like this. Let's put our F450. Reality, the F450 will not work. You need an F350 for the size of this, or an F450. Maybe an F450. And I'm going to grab red because I know that's what my honey wants. There's red. And we got a little tractor. Oh my god, this is so cute. And we have little... Oh, we're going to have to go get those turkeys and chickens and stuff. I like this. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm embarrassed. Sorry, guys. I was trying to hold that in. Oh my goodness. This is cute. It reminds me a lot about when I was a kid. When I was very, very little. So this is TS3, and I think that this is just a feather coop, but here, I'll show you. Oh, look how cute this is! We got moo-moos! Dairy! Oh, this is cute! I wish we could have the dairy cow, but we can't. It's so cute! Oh my god, it's a little chick! I love this. This is really nice. Okay, guys, hit that like and subscribe button down below. And everyone, remember one thing. If you have an argument with your spouse, apologize the very next day. And also apologize in a text message if you really have to. And don't go to bed angry. But anyways, hit the like and subscribe button down below. And I hope you all enjoyed my video. I hope you all have a great sleep. Good night. Stay rested. And have a great, amazing day tomorrow.